a state in the US is actually proposing a ban of electric vehicles. This is not a joke. Although it sounds like a joke, but it's really not. Check this out. Wyoming wants to phase out sales of EVs by 2035 to ensure the stability of the oil and gas industry. And this whole story just sounds so ridiculous to me, but I actually had to go ahead and find the actual government website with this bill. And yeah, phasing out new electric vehicle sales by 2035. It is important to keep in context that in 2021, Wyoming ranked 8th nationally, producing over 85 million barrels of crude oil. And who are the senators that want to do this? Senators Jim Anderson, Brian Boner at Cooper, Dan Dockstader. Wow. Okay, well, I can't be the only one wondering, how does this guy, Boner, look like? That's him right here. I assume this is his wife. She looks lovely. You know, I don't know about you, but I think, I'm not sure if emphasis should be put on Boner here. I think emphasis should be put a little bit more on Brian. I don't know. Maybe it would just look better, but I think with a name like that, it is, if you run in a state that is small, where no one actually knows who's running for who, and you just look through the list of candidates to vote, and you see someone with that name, it's certainly very memorable. You will not forget. I am really curious now. I want to search what's going on YouTube. Brian Boner. Search. If you know Family Guy, this is too funny. Forgive me for my curiosity, but I am wondering if having a name like that, does it ever stop being uncomfortable at some point when you introduce yourself? Maybe the name is pronounced a little bit differently. Maybe, you know, it's some sort of European name and it's pronounced Banier or something like that. So I went to his website. I found this video.
Brian Boner knows what it means to be Wyoming strong.
So what Brian Boner and other senators have said about EVs. Why do they not want them? Well, obviously they want to protect their jobs in the oil industry. The group also based their worries on a lack of EV charging infrastructure, which would make the widespread use of electric vehicles impracticable for the state. Here's a map of superchargers in the United States of America, and Wyoming is right here. As you can see, there are indeed not many superchargers in Wyoming right now. Over time, however, Tesla will build out the infrastructure, and Wyoming is a pretty small state in terms of population, so Tesla is not prioritizing Wyoming right now, I believe, but over time, there will be a lot more superchargers. They are also stating that the batteries are not easily recyclable or disposable, and claim that municipal landfills in the state would be required to develop safe and responsible disposal solutions for the minerals. Redwood Materials, which is a company started by former Tesla number 2, J.B. Straubel, they say that actually Redwood's technology can recover on average more than 95% of materials like nickel, cobalt, copper, aluminum, lithium, and graphite in a lithium-ion battery. These materials can then go directly back into the supply chain to make batteries for new electric vehicles and energy storage products. When you will have a car with a huge battery in it, there will be companies that will want to take that battery. I don't think it's going to be a problem with recycling there. I mean, you will have an option to mine new materials, or you already have this. Like, imagine if you go to a mine where you're trying to get some of these materials, but they are not pure. And here you have this huge piece of, let's say, cobalt or lithium that you just found randomly, and it is just stuck in a car. It is certainly easier to recycle existing batteries than to just mine for new materials. Check what Elon said here. No problem to recycle the 4680 pack. Just think of any battery pack as super high grade ore. It is always better to start with high grade ore than low grade. We also have this report. Tesla Cybertruck is finalized and nearing production, chief designer says. This is all based on Franz being on a podcast just now. Tesla has continued to make slight adjustments while it prepares for early production, which is slated for mid-2023. Volume production is set for the end of the year. On the podcast, McCaffrey asked whether the Cybertruck was finished from a design perspective, and Franz answered, yeah. Basically, yeah. McCaffrey also mentioned that production was slated for less than 6 months from now, and the Tesla chief designer did not deny nor indicate that anything would hold up the initial manufacturing phases. Well, I don't think he would mention anything anyway, whether it was true or not, so I wouldn't really look too deeply here. However, Franz did say that Tesla never has a pencils down mentality with vehicle design, and Tesla remains fluid with its ideas. If a vehicle could be improved upon, or if a company decides to make changes, it will not refrain from doing so. That is the Tesla way. We work consistently through the entire process, and we are constantly working on every detail, he said, and the refinement of that. So, and we learn things through the engineering phases and the manufacturing development phases that we can improve on, and so we do. He was sure to include that the Cybertruck has features that customers do not know about, but in typical Tesla fashion, no details were shared. Also, Tesla's chief designer says that it makes sense to use the yoke for the Cybertruck. I think we are more likely to make it optional though. Elon has been teasing us with a new FSD beta release version for a little while now. He's saying that he's excited about many things, that they are starting to make use of neural nets for vehicle navigation and control, not just vision. Chuck, of course, is really excited about this. Chuck is the FSD beta tester who popularized this turn. As you can see, our car is right here, and it makes this turn regularly and reliably. Not every single time, but surprisingly, it is pretty good. It makes that turn almost every single time, majority of the times. So FSD is something that I'm really excited about, and that is the biggest reason why I am holding Tesla stock, because I believe once FSD is sold, Tesla stock will greatly benefit from that. My name is Matt Posius. These are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.